All right, welcome everybody to Quill and Sword, the best D&D show on the internet, in my humble opinion. And that it's only because of all of these awesome people here who are the best players anybody could ever ask for. My name is Bobby Partridge, and we are using Syrinscape to do sound effects and nonsense tonight. So enjoy all that. I'm going to have our players recap for us some of what's going on. So please introduce yourself. You can tell us what you do on the interwebs, creatively speaking. And also then maybe give us a little bit of what you remember from last time. So we're going to start out. Oh, that's Marissa. I'm not doing that.
Thank you.
Oh, there we go. Okay, that is going to be Vera. So Vera, you are up.
Ah, crap. The most of the previous episode was spent kind of prepping for the attempted invasion of the Umber Horde and all of the horrors that came with that. We kind of all took different areas of Voire to try and fortify and then defend. And I was taking care of the docks and the sewers where they were liable to get in. Did pretty decently. Well, Asana did pretty decently at the docks. I was in the sewers, and before I left, I booby-trapped the entire sewer system with 420 glyphs of warding.
I'd like to interrupt for just 1 second because I don't know that we're actually live.
Oh.
No, it's showing
Yeah,
up.
we are. We are.
It's showing the countdown. I have not seen us.
Are you sure you have hit play and you haven't backed up to the start of the stream? Because I see it right now. It's live.
Okay. All right. Cool. It's.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry about that.
That's okay.
It isn't Quill and Sword unless we have at least one.
I think. I think that's enough for me. Robin.
God damn it. God damn it. Okay, so I remember that Masquerade and Angelique were stationed at the castle, and a whole bunch of guards died trying to keep the Crom spawn from spilling out of the basement. I don't know if you guys remember the very first session of this game, but we all went down there and had to deal with some undead things, rescued the queen. That's how we ended up here. But she lived. I was a good bodyguard. Anyway. Yeah, no, I think I should stop there and pass it to SENITA. Yeah.
Who's mid-bite?
Oh my god, I'm sorry, I didn't realize you had food. Okay, Megan, take it.
Oh, okay. Hi, everybody.
We're also
I'm Megan.
prepared.
Yeah, I'm Megan.
Apparently
I do.
Bobby is muted though.
No, I'm not.
Chaos. Absolute chaos.
I'm Megan. I'm a sci-fi author and a podcaster, and I play Tempest. And last game, Tempest was, discovering all kinds of new things about her crazy power armor that she has now. So she's got some really incredible armor, and she used it to good effect to defend the wall, and she prevented the wall from falling. People did die. I think 53 people died, but it could have been a whole lot worse. Tempest is upset that people died. The wall held. The part of the wall fell, but we rebuilt it. So, it still did its job of keeping out all the hordes. And I think that's it. That's it for me. How about Marissa?
She wasn't here,
Yeah.
so I wasn't going to make her go, but you can introduce yourself and your character.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm Marissa. I write spicy paranormal stories. There's 2 coming out in September. I hope everybody's super excited. My character is Nim. She's a changeling, and she loves nothing more than gentle parenting bad guys into submission. So, All right, Senita.
Oh, I got chocolate on my desk.
Jokes.
Love some chocolate.
I'm pretty sure. Oh, I'm Zenita D. I am a cosplay streamer. I'm technically in cosplay now, but I took off the top because it's been a day. And I play a new who was just wrecking shit last session. Because I don't have the magic. I'm a rogue that has the power of a barbarian, apparently. And a dragon.
Yeah, you got all the pets. So, after you guys had fortified the city, as you did, and you guys did an awesome job with that, because these incursions are going to keep coming. These incursions of undead from this massive city that the locals have come to begin calling the City of Worms. And it is huge, and it is basically just this conglomerate hydra head of crumb spawn that all have a single entity underground that our beloved Masquerade actually has seen. But you guys had realized that there was something was wrong, something was going on, and you made your way to the part of Dorian that is wrecked, and that is in ruins, and that the Phoenix has made its home. And there you saw a young woman standing with a knife, a sort of serrated and jagged knife in her hands. And the knife was pouring smoke, almost like it was made of shadow itself. This woman, while being eerily attractive and the sort of person you've never seen before, you did recognize those yellow eyes behind her curtain of black hair. And this is a form of Baba. She raises the knife almost ceremoniously toward the bird. And all of you are here watching it.
I wish that knife were in my hand.
You wish that knife were in your hand. Okay. Yes. So, you have, for anybody who doesn't know, Masquerade had some wishes left from this demon. So, I need for you to make a charisma saving throw.
Okay.
Robin.
19.
19. Whew. I this was like a 10% chance that I thought could happen. So, I will tell you. You need a 20.
Encourage!
You're going to encourage him? Okay.
How does that work? Remind me.
Mask wish so hard.
How do you encourage Masquerade him?
I say, Mask, think about birthday cakes and blowing out all the candles. Now I need you to wish with all of the power of every breath you've ever blown out a candle.
So do I add something to the roll I already have, or do I re-roll
yes.
it?
You
okay,
add
good.
something to that roll, which is Nim's charisma modifier.
Which is 3.
22.
22. So you take hold of this knife, and a number of things happen. The first is you start seeing visions of the entire cosmos, like the multiverse itself, pouring into your mind like a flood. Okay. Just a deluge of crushing, omnipotent omniscience.
Oh. What's my int score? It's only 13. Is it possible I'm not smart enough for this to burn my mind out?
Well, you take... I rolled super low here. You take 20 psychic damage.
Oh.
And you immediately drop the knife, which was in your hand, as you felt almost this entity, this being, this sense of pride coming over you.
Huh.
And the woman who was standing there holding the knife collapses. Her hair is no longer black. It is now a stark white, and her tan skin, which was once super fair, begins leathering and aging as it turns to dust. This skeletal hand, as the layers of skin and tissue begin just flecking away into sand, reaches out to you and she says, "Thank you."
What? Oh god, is she actually in the knife?
Mage hand, pick up the knife off the ground to make sure no one
Okay.
steals it away while no one's looking.
Make a charisma saving throw.
For mage hand?
Because your magic
Oh
is
no,
touching
because
it.
you're touching the knife.
You're connected to it by magic.
She
Okay.
is in the knife.
Okay. All right. That's fine.
DC 20.
My charisma saving throw has a plus 20 to it.
Okay. So you basically can't fail this.
I rolled a 10 plus 20 is 30.
Okay. So you feel the same kind of thing. It's wild. It's almost like not only are you having this information, this deluge just pour into your mind, flooding it, you also immediately feel this sense of pride gripping into your heart. You are better than everyone else here. You are the epitome of what a creature must be.
Oh, this is a strange sensation. I am... for what it's worth, I don't think I've ever felt like this before. And I'm carrying it with a spell.
Yeah. By the way, your mage hand begins to look like a skeleton.
I
and-
think you should drop it.
And your hand, Masquerade, your skin is very dark normally, right?
Yeah.
It is like a stark white right now. Basically
Can I fix
to
that?
just above your wrist.
Can I unwhite it?
With a changeling power, but it's not natural. It's not your natural look now.
Okay, so I have to actually be focusing on it being that not.
Yep.
Okay, you know what? I'll do it anyway. This is what we do, but
Yeah.
So,
Tempest
is the
says,
mage hand still holding this thing? At present?
Unless she lets it go.
do you have some place to put it? I'm sure I can hold on to it for just a few more minutes. I'm really good at this.
I'm not waiting. All right, Bobby, here's what I want to do.
Okay.
I'm going to word this as carefully as I can.
Okay.
I want to put a force cage around it.
Okay.
I want the force cage to be as small as it can be without touching the thing, understanding that the bottom portion of the cage I'm putting under the actual dirt. So I am incorporating this thing resting on the ground, but the cage completely encompassing it.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. That's a little weird for the way the spell works, so I'm going to have you make an Arcana check. Your
Ooh,
DC
fair
is
enough.
going to be, let's say, 16. That feels
16?
right.
That's a nat 20.
Okay, yeah, you've got it. You've got this taken care of. You've got your cage. It's implanted halfway into the ground. It is completely encasing the mage hand, which is holding the knife. You've got this.
Yeah. Leave it alone. Right now, everybody, leave it alone.
It was no big deal, but fine if you say so.
I really do.
should probably.
Let's it go. I'm glad I didn't use telekinesis on it. That would have been even a bigger spell.
We need to find somewhere to put this without touching it.
I mean, you could touch it for a little while.
I
You
did
just have
that.
to be charismatic. Or something else, but you guys haven't figured that part out yet.
I have a question,
Mhm.
Stephen. Is there anything about this that seems familiar to me? That, like, have I ever read anything about something of this nature? I mean, I know that Nim isn't super into, like, magical items, but is there something here that she would have read about while studying other languages, or...
I'll let you roll either history, insight, or arcana. Pick what you will.
Let's do insight.
Okay.
13.
13. So here's what's interesting to you, right? Like, yeah, you see the knife and you see it smoking and you see what it's physically done. But it seems like everyone else is almost afraid. Like they're feeling some sort of metaphysical presence or some sort of metaphysical something, and it's not there for you.
So, Bobby, I have
Yes.
very high marks in Arcana and History.
Uh-huh.
Does this thing ring any bells for me?
You can go ahead and try to roll. It is pretty difficult to do, but go ahead.
That's a 28.
Yes, that succeeds. So, there are obscure, and we're talking wildly obscure, like you heard this from a hole-in-the-wall dive in the corner of the continent where nobody goes because it's some backwater town where they don't even practice, like, religion in the same capacity that, like, others of their kind do. And you heard that there is a rumor that Baba and her rise and fall do not come about by way of an entity that can physically exist like Crom does, but rather through the hubris of the magically inclined.
Share that info immediately.
That's weird, because when I held the knife, I certainly felt like I was better than everyone.
I sort of feel like that all the time, so...
I was going to say, do you normally think that, Tempest?
No.
Okay. Recognize that as a red flag.
Okay. Yes, I see.
I mean, the red flag for me was the sudden outpouring of so much information, my mind could no longer hold it suddenly.
I believe that's called an info dump.
No, I've seen a lot of those that didn't go nearly that poorly.
Honestly, the red flag for me is just all of it. No green flags within sight.
Very well assessed.
Fortunately, no white flags either.
So what do we do with it now? Actually, do we...
Give it to someone who's been abdicated.
Abdicated. But, I mean... We need... What is it? Is it just a manifestation of Baba's powers here on the material plane? Why hasn't she popped in to take it back already?
Because
The force cage is nice, but I mean, not compared to Baba, right?
she likes to fuck with us. So assume that outsmart, like, I think us trying to be clever about this just leans into the entire hubris idea. The very idea that we could outsmart this is probably a mistake.
Okay, so what do we do?
Whatever is the stupidest, most blunt force solution we could come up with is probably the best idea.
So we
Nim
throw
starts
it in the
walking towards the
ocean.
cage.
We drop it
Okay.
in the
Well,
volcano?
So Nim, you're at the cage.
Yeah. Nim just heard that the stupidest solution.
Okay.
Nim is ready to try something. So, am I capable of like sticking a hand in there? Like, what is the makeup of this cage?
I would have done it pretty tight. So, like, given your changelingness, you're gonna have to like make your fingers real thin, but you could probably reach in and touch it. You're not gonna be able to get a grip on it.
Okay, that's what Nim does.
Okay. Make an acrobatics check. It's pretty easy to do.
My acrobatics score is 19.
Yeah. So you watch as Nim's fingers just thin out and snake into the cage, and you can actually wrap your fingers around this thing and grip it if you want.
Okay, that's what I do.
Nothing happens.
I don't understand all the hubbub here. I could use this to butter my toast if I wished.
And Mask looks over and is just like, oh my god. That was really risky. I am so proud of you.
Well,
It was.
This said the stupidest
Are you
solution.
saying you feel superior to all of us because you were able to grab it?
No, I feel purely unmagical, and for the first time on this whole cursed adventure, I feel that is perhaps the best condition one could have.
That's
So all in
so
favor
you're
of-
proud of being non-magical.
All in
Tempest.
favor of letting them hold the knife.
All right, Tempest. I want at least 2 physical bodies between you and the knife at all times. At
Oh.
this point.
You were very informative here about how, it makes everyone feel a sense of pride. Anyone could have held it and said, oh, I handled this no problem. And in fact, I said that same thing.
Tempest. Why are you arguing with me?
Because I'm worried about
you-
him.
Are you? Or are you jealous because you want it back?
I don't need it. Believe me, I've had my share
We
of
can
magical
stop the
bladed
conversation.
weapons.
We can stop the conversation right there. You don't need it. Great. Problem solved. Moving on.
It is quite heavy, though. Not that I'm complaining, I'm not really used to carrying weaponry of this sort. Or any sort, really.
All right. So I will. Nim has a grip on it. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I'll dissolve the cage.
Okay.
Okay.
Nim, you've got a knife.
Alright, I've retracted my weird skinny changeling page claw situation. And Nim is just holding it and like tries to put the hilt in like an apron pocket and like is moving the cinnamon roll box around to make a space for it and just is holding it.
All right. So we have someone who can hold it. Disposal options. Non-magical, ideally.
Volcano.
Do we
Yeah,
have a
volcano
volcano locally?
We do
Nim-
have a rolled map somewhere.
We do. Oh, actually, you know what?
Like,
Hang on.
you guys keep talking. I'm gonna go find that.
No. Wait a minute. That's... So, Bobby,
Yes.
on our lovely world map,
Yes.
is there a volcano?
In fact, I'm putting it in our general chat on Discord so everyone can just see it once again.
I have the map open.
I've-
It's in the
I've got the
handouts
map up.
section.
I'm just-
Or no, it's in the maps section.
All right, so there are volcanoes. Most of them are going to be located in this area here, the Elven Lands, to the southeast. There are also volcanoes up here in that continent just above the Elven Lands called Icarus. Icarus is highly volcanic and also has a massive desert. There aren't a lot of volcanoes in your area outside of
Doesn't
one
matter.
that is beside Lewin.
Doesn't matter.
So we're going on a quest to
No,
destroy
we're not.
them.
No, we're not.
We're
We
not.
don't have to.
We don't have to.
We don't have to. Nim, stick with me. Rest of you, stay put. It's fine.
No, hold on. You don't get to. It's fine. You are going to explain.
I am going to call some help, who is going to do some transport, and we will be skipping the slog. I don't know how many people can be transported at once. Give me a second. So, Bobby.
Yes.
The penny whistle to bring Lyrical.
Yes. So you can summon Lyrical. They literally just step out from behind a corner.
Okay.
Of this rubble. You rang.
Yes, darling. First question, logistics. Up to this point, I think it's just been you and me. How many people can you transport at a go?
10.
10? Great. We can all go. We need to get to a volcano.
Okay. That's interesting, especially given current
active.
Circumstances.
Dangerous.
Yeah, we have something that needs to be melted down to slag, and we need non-magical means to do it.
Oh. Okay. So, which volcano do you want to go to?
Pick your favorite.
All right. And so, Lyrical, sort of claps their hands together, and when they pull them apart, it's like this doorway opens up in front of them, and it just, like, turns into an actual, like, doorway, basically. And then they peek from around the side, and like, all right, let's go. And they round it and walk in. And on the other side, you can see there is soot and ash and smoke, and there is, like, there's red thunder in the background, like red lightning going on. And everything here is, like, obsidian, and the ash has kind of clouded the sky here. So this is not somewhere you've been.
Wow. That's a view.
This wave of heat and ash just blasts you with the smell of sulfur.
Okay. So one tiny snag in my plan I've just realized. Nim, you never did master the wings thing, did you?
No, I could give it a try. I appreciate my changeling nature, but prefer not to change.
Okay.
I can fly.
Magically. So no. No.
Okay.
No.
Okay. I mean, the teleporter was just magic, and it went through that, no problem.
Please don't.
Fine.
So, Mask.
Yeah.
Using strictly only your changelingness and nothing else.
I pop out bat wings.
Can you slap some wings and give Nim a lift, and just be sure you don't touch the damn thing?
Yes.
Cool.
So,
I'm also the only person I trust not to drop her, so...
If changelings can fly, why not just fly the ring to Mordor?
Masquerade, I do want you to make a nature check for me, please.
Of course.
Or survival, your choice.
I am not good at either of these.
Okay.
I'm gonna try survival, because that's a +2 and not a +1.
Okay.
I'm gonna use my point of inspiration.
Okay.
Wow, that's worse. Okay.
Do you want to take one of mine?
I feel like this is important, and I probably should.
Okay.
Okay, the first roll was a 9, and then the second one was a 3, and now I'm back to a 9 again, and I think I don't want to tempt fate to make it even worse than that. So.
Okay. What about an encouragement?
Which would bring it up to a 12.
Okay.
Let's throw a bardic inspiration on that.
Cool, what do I roll for it?
Hang on, let me pull it up. Let me see what it is currently for that. Bardic inspiration is a D12.
Ooh, that is serious bardic inspiration. Let's go.
Level 19. That's where you guys are at, man.
Okay,
I could throw a guidance on it, too.
That brings it up to 17. What would guidance get us to?
Another 4.
Okay.
And well, another 1d4. I'm sorry, another 1d4.
Dirty
Same.
20.
That's what you needed.
Through the power of friendship, dirty 20.
So, this volcano's wind is really hot. Like, it's blasting hot updrafts into the air.
Okay.
Against what you realize as you step through that portal, it is really hot right here. But when you look down, you're on a mountain, like you're on top of this massive mountain, and there is snow below you.
Okay.
So the winds are real turbulent here in a weird way that you're not used to. It would be very difficult to do a dangerous flying maneuver, especially laden with another body. It's not impossible.
I would like...
But it can't...
Are there birds up here?
Let me see. There are birds.
What do their wing layouts look like?
So, these birds are not your stereotypical birds. They have bird wings, but they have snake bodies. Covered in feathers.
Okay, so like a coatl.
Yes, very much like a coatl. And
Alright.
they are, and it's almost like the way they ride the wind because they have 6 sets of wings, right? And so they're actually using their wings to maneuver their serpentine bodies on these gales so that they're almost like fluidly moving. And it's like, you gather that a regular bird would have a lot of difficulty here, but these things are specifically designed to like be in this environment and thrive here.
Okay, Nim?
Yes.
I'm going to talk you through this. Have you ever manifested scales before?
Well, once I had a skin condition, but no, I haven't.
Okay. So the skin that you're wearing right now has like, and I'm going to like talk through the dermis and the epidermis and the layers of the skin, and then I'm going to start going into like snakes and like reptiles and what their scales are like.
Okay. That's going to be a complex test to get Nim to, in a pinch, understand all of this. So it's going to start with a nature roll, followed by a medicine roll, followed by a persuasion roll.
You can have guidance on all of those.
You have to succeed on 2 of the 3.
Okay.
And your DC is going to be an 18.
Okay, well, nature is 18. I rolled a 17 on the die.
Okay.
I got really lucky there. Medicine. God damn it, come on. That's the one that I can do really well at. Wait. No, hold on. I have guidance. This might not be a lost cause. Yes, okay. Medicine also passed. Do I still have to roll the other one?
No, you don't have to roll the other one. Because Nim just trusts you apparently at least enough to explain this.
So, that's what I want you to do. I want you to manifest scales all over your body because this is going to be really hot. And then I'm going to manifest scales all over my body because Masquerade just turns into whatever at the drop of a hat.
Okay. You can absolutely do that.
Alright, so what we're going to do from there is try and manifest 3 different pairs of wings and mimic what those things are doing, and I'm not 100% sure that this is going to work out super well, so if we could have some kind of, like, safety net plan in place, a contingency would be good. Like, if one of you could maybe catch us in a portal or something. Like, does anybody have anything like that? Is the dragon here? Anew?
I think Nuka's magical in nature. I think we might want to be careful about that.
Oh yeah, that's fair. Oh yeah, that would make spells a problem too. Okay, rope. Who has a rope? That's probably not a good material for this. Chain. Who has a chain?
Not on me.
And Lyrical's just watching this. It's like, what are you trying to do?
And I'm going up to the coatls, and I'm like, that.
Huh. Okay. You want to turn into one of those? You have to be a druid to turn into one of those.
No, I don't want to turn into one of those. I want to mimic the way they're flying.
Oh, okay. Okay. And you need a chain for that?
Well, I'm thinking if I fall, because I've never done this before, and not dying is kind of important to me, and her not dying is much more important to me, so I want to just in case I mess up.
Ideally, nobody dies, is what we're saying.
Yes.
Okay. I don't know if I have anything. Let's see if Lyrical has something at their disposal. Nat 1! Lyrical has nothing.
Okay.
Of course.
Meanwhile, I'm in the process of like manifesting the wings and still watching the coatl and like trying to make sure I'm getting the musculature right and everything.
Tempest and SENITA, or Tempest and Anu, you guys make a perception check, we'll say.
Perception. Alright. Perception, okay.
I got a 21.
21.
I got an 18.
18. Alright, so, Tempest, will start with you. One of the first things that you begin to notice, as you're here on this volcano, is that, you see what looks like the magma underneath is kind of like roiling just a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Like, not like rolling boil, but just occasionally it kind of folds in on itself in a way you wouldn't expect. Anu, you catch sight of something. You catch sight of what looks like, is it a tail?
Is there anything living in here?
Bobby, if you're about to introduce a fucking lava shark, so help me.
It's fine.
I lay what I see to everybody.
Could there be something living in here? Are we sure there aren't any lava elementals?
Oh, you know what? If there are elementals in this lava and we throw the dagger in there and one of them gets it, that could be a huge problem.
It really could.
Well, and Lyrical just kind of points and says, there is an old legend about a guardian, some kind of animal, but I mean, you said you didn't want a magical volcano. It's not necessarily magical, it's just an animal, right?
Bobby, can I get a history check on those local legends?
Sure.
That is a 32.
32. Okay, so you have heard of these local legends. There is the Silver Lurker is said to be a guardian of this this deserty Badlands region of Icarus. It's described as a fish, but it's also often associated with fire.
I will relay that information. I'm just trying to figure out what to do with it.
You do see there's like pillars and things around here that are just a little ways down, but they look almost like thresholds you would walk through like on a path. Some of them have things hanging from them, stuff like that.
I'm going to turn to Lyrical. Don't suppose there is a less liable to be occupied volcano we could jump to?
I mean, sure. You said to pick my favorite.
I did, and it's beautiful.
It
and
is.
I am not knocking your taste even slightly. We're just under very specific circumstances.
Okay. Well, what are you looking for more specifically then?
Can we just explain the situation? I mean, it's not like it's important that Lyrical doesn't know what's happening, right?
Fair.
Okay.
So we just explain the situation.
Okay. So, you explain the situation, and Lyrical opens a new portal to another place. This one is a lot more tropical, and you can see that this place actually has what looks like spires, like domed spires with like the twisted sort of tops to them, just lining this area. And the volcano, like immediately around the mouth, there is actually these spires, and they create a force wall around it and a dome over top to kind of prevent from getting into the volcano. But and it's like, this is a very magical area. There is a lot going on here, and you see walls and structures and shrines, sort of all with elven architecture. Anu could read it, any of the writing if she wanted, but this and Lyrical informs you that you are now in the High Elven lands. So this is where the Sun Elves live. We are in Evandrel.
Okay. And you said there's a dome over the volcano?
Yes. While the people here are very magical, and they have protections in place to prevent anyone from falling in, as you can see, the volcano itself isn't occupied or magical as far as I'm aware.
I think under the circumstances, that's about the best we could hope for.
So then, is the name of the game getting them to disable the ward for a minute so we can get in there and take care of this?
You do actually see a couple of soldiers sort of like patrolling, and they seem to quicken their pace when they see you guys.
Not surprised.
I know you're not this kind of elf, are you?
Nope.
I didn't think so.
No. She's the moon elf.
I'm like still covered in scales and like standing here with like 3 pairs of wings. By the way, I haven't unshifted that because I'm not confident that I'll be able to remember what it looks like.
That's valid.
All right. I'm gonna step forward and take point on this, I think.
Okay. So who you are facing are these 2 spear-wielding women in full red, like crimson red plate armor with green and golden accents. Their entire bodies and faces are covered with only 2 little like openings for their eyes, and even their ears are armored in these like swooping sort of like accoutrements that decorate the helmet.
Oh, like the Nightborn have in World of Warcraft.
Yes.
I like that.
Yeah, very much so.
I have quietly in my own head named those. I'll talk to you about it later, sorry.
Oh, I would love to hear it.
Yeah, I want it to catch on. Yeah,
yes. But anyway, that is who is facing you right now. And they have this really dark eye makeup just slathered all over so that you can't really see anything except their eyes themselves.
That is a hell of a look, and you're probably wondering what we're doing here.
We are. And she narrows these golden glowing eyes. Who are you and what business do you have?
Let me explain. Nope, there's too much. Let me sum up. So we are here to try and completely remove a dangerous magical item from this plane of existence by smelting it in your lovely volcano. We had tried to go to another one, but the issue is we really needed something non-magical because the item itself feeds on magic in a very, very, very nasty way. We're really just here to drop it off in some lava and go.
And her eyes narrow just a little bit more. You come to our lands uninvited to destroy a magical artifact and pollute our volcano without permission.
I would love to dispute that, and while that's not how I would word it, Effectively, yes.
You can make a persuasion roll. You have disadvantage.
Understood.
It's a pretty high DC.
All right, persuasion. It's not one of my broken stats, but it's decent. Hang on, math. That's 18.
18 is not gonna cut it with them.
Fuck. Anybody want to throw me help on this? I'd take
Would
it.
encouragement help? Like, what's the...
So hold on. Like, let's just for a moment consider the fact that I would not look like this if it were not life or death for someone, and this is life or death for many people, including you. We're talking like world-ending nonsense here.
You realize that Evandrel has been closed off from the rest of the world for thousands of years, so that we don't have to deal with your drama.
Good. You won't have to deal with our drama anymore as soon as we drop the knife in the volcano. We'll leave. We'll never come back. Word of honor.
And you can make a persuasion roll at disadvantage. They don't seem incredibly happy about this.
8.
And Lyrical is their type of elf, by the way. And
I thought Lyrical was a changeling.
Lyrical presents as one of their types of elves, so they would think that this is one of their types of elves, and they're still not really having it.
Do moon elves speak in a different dialect?
No.
Okay.
We could always hand her the knife.
Nim steps forward and puts on her pleasant disposition.
Okay. Okay.
And Nim says, basically...
You're right on the cusp of that, but you got it, so...
Yeah. Nim is like, I am so sorry. This is probably more of an issue than what it needs to be, and I completely understand. We had no intention of just barging in and, ruining your volcano, and we understand it's a very important volcano. It's quite lovely, and I appreciate, how the hard work it takes to probably preserve it and take care of it. And, we really appreciate that you would do that for your community, for, the future generations, for, it's so much hard work, and we understand the hard work that goes into protecting a community and keeping it safe, and, perhaps we haven't explained what we're doing, quite well enough. Now this volcano, when you say polluted, it's not a particularly magical volcano, is it? What is in your volcano?
Magma.
Okay. That's what I thought. So I know that it probably sounds awful that we want to put this sword here or this knife into your volcano, but as you can see, it's just a sword or a knife to me, and the only issue is that when some people touch it, it becomes more than that. And because this is just magma, it's just going to be melting this simple knife, and once it's done, we will be out of your way completely, and you'll never hear from us again.
Make a persuasion roll, and you don't have disadvantage because you put on your pleasant disposition.
All right, before all that gets finished, I do have a question. Does anyone else know Elvish, or is it just me in the party?
I think I do. Hang on.
I don't.
I do know Elvish.
Okay.
Oh, I do know Elvish and Dwarvish. Those are the only two languages I know other than Common.
Elvish and Dwarvish.
Bobby would have to rule if any version of Elvish that Tempest knows is the version of Elvish that they speak on this planet.
Elvish is Elvish, so you can speak it even if it's the difference between English and Australian or something like that, or American English and Australian English. You could get by with that.
I'm gonna use my inspiration real quick.
I was gonna say have a bardic inspiration die as well.
We got 21.
With the D12?
Okay.
Oh, not with the D12. Oh, With the D12.
Let's see how high you get with the D12.
Wow.
Hold up. 30.
You know what? They look at you. They look at one another. The one who hasn't been as hostile toward Wisp shrugs and says, "It is just a knife, right?
Yes.
Like it would melt and go away." And the other elf sort of, like, you see the shoulder pads, these massive shoulder pads just kind of sink a little bit. Very well. And they lead you toward this archway, and after the main guard sort of runs her finger along these different sigils, the force field over this archway vanishes, and you can get to the edge of the volcano.
Nim, you got this.
You have.
Right. So, Bobby, what does it look like? Is it there's like a ledge and I can just chunk it?
Yeah.
Okay.
I unscale myself now that I know I don't have to fly here.
Okay.
Nim walks up to the edge, not too close, but close enough that the knife is guaranteed to go over the edge when she chucks it. And then she just chucks it.
Okay. And it sits there on top of the magma. And just sits there. And it gets red hot, but that's about it.
You know, who's gonna come get it? Just let them put the force field back up. It's in the middle of the lava.
Oh dear. Well, that was...
I don't want to go get it.
That's unfortunate.
I mean, this could take some time. It's getting ready. I mean, it is magical, right?
Okay. All right. Here's my way of thinking about this at this point. We're going to leave. They're going to put the barriers back up anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So I am prepared to go on faith that this thing will melt. It's just going to take too damn long to wait, but it's going to be encased in a force field and actively guarded. I am okay with that over trying to come up with something else and trying to retrieve that without dying or using magic.
I mean, does anyone have shape earth? We could drop some lava on top of it to kind of sandwich it in there. Like, we wouldn't cast shape earth on the knife. Just pick some lava up and drop it on top.
No. Closest thing I've got is earth tremor, but that would mean, like, I'd have to, like, take a chunk out of the side of the thing and hope it lands on top of this thing, and I don't think they'd appreciate it if I did that.
I have shape water.
Could we?
Lava's basically water, right?
Could we throw a big rock on top of it to force it down?
I mean, for the purposes of water walk, it is actually, but
Yeah.
I need someone to roll a d20 for me. Doesn't matter who.
7.
7. So you begin smelling this sort of like acrid, rotten death smell coming from the volcano. And you can see that the magma has started shifting from yellow and orange and red to like purple and pink and blue.
Oh, fuck off.
I wish we hadn't dropped the knife in the volcano.
Okay. So, Nim, you are standing on the edge of the volcano with the knife in your hand.
Oh,
Hold on
shit.
to it. How many of those do you have left?
How many of those do I have left, Steven?
was your
I think
last
it was
one.
just 3, yeah.
Well, no.
Oh no,
That
you
was
gained
all you
another one.
promised.
You gained another one.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
so
we
you have
have
one
one
more.
left.
So is
That
the
was all
knife,
you
like,
promised to wish for. Not that
Yeah,
was
it
all the
was. I
wishes
can,
you
I
could
can
wish.
still overdo it.
Is the knife like gone back to the pre-lava condition when
Mhm.
it is back in my hand? Okay, good.
Yep.
Yeah, because I
was
wish we
concerned.
hadn't done it, not that it was
got
in
it.
your hand again.
Yeah.
I was a little
Yeah.
smart about it.
Yeah, I was concerned for a moment.
Anyone have a sphere of annihilation?
No.
Well,
Damn.
what if this is just my knife now? What if I have a knife now?
You know,
a
I
very
trust
bad-
that.
For the
very
time
bad
being,
knife.
that is our best option.
I do appreciate all the problem solving that went into this, though, everyone. This was a fantastic adventure. Also, thank you so much for letting us try your volcano. Apparently, it is not going to work. So we will get out of your hair, and I will take my new butter knife, I guess.
And they
How
look
big is
really
this knife?
confused. You just wanted to look at it.
You know, it would appear that way.
Lyrical, I think we need to go.
Thank you. Thanks again. This was fantastic. Your hospitality knows no bounds, and you know, we will keep you on the list for future gatherings and parties. And you know, next time we want to come visit, we will hit you up for recommendations for local eateries and places to stay. Thank you.
I just wanted on the record that Masquerade is this entire time standing behind Nim, looking intimidating.
The guard that was already kind of irritated with you guys just narrows her eyes once again and says, "Please don't recommend us for anything."
That's fair. Yes, well, we will get out of your hair and out of your volcano.
And Lyrical makes another doorway, and it goes back to where you guys were in Dorian.
I really appreciate it, Lyrical. You went above and beyond what I'd hoped for, and I really do appreciate it.
My
Yes,
pleasure.
Thank you so much.
But now I think I need to rest.
Very fair.
And they don't teleport away, they walk away.
And so I've been racking my brain to figure out why you truly have are not affected by the knife. And I can't help but think of what you did to help people who have had their magic burned out. What was the guy who didn't have magic but then
Ben.
Ben, yeah. Like what you did for Ben. I don't know. Could you do the same thing you did to Ben to the knife? Is there some power you have that could remove it?
That's a question. Nim reaches into her apron and pulls out the tarot card.
Okay. It's not glowing right now, but if you want to try to activate it, you can make an Arcana or Insight check.
Guidance.
Let's do insight. And with guidance, that's a +4.
That's a
D4?
a D4.
Ooh, I got a nat 20,
Oh!
but +4, so.
Okay, so you activate your card, and it's the green light pours forth once again, outlining every ink line on your card. And you guys see as Nim's entire body just sort of seems illuminated by green, even though there's no source of green light anywhere around. And Nim, you hold the knife and you concentrate on the knife. And you find yourself, like in the blink of an eye, you are sitting in that hut.
Baba's hut?
Baba's hut. And you see her. She is sitting in her old crone form in the corner. Not on a stool, not on a chair. Sitting, hugging her legs. Almost mournful.
Well, hey there, Granny.
What do you want with me?
I'll be honest, I didn't intend to visit you. But that doesn't mean I'm not happy to see you. I was just, have this here knife situation. It appears I'm the only one that can handle it because I am very not magical. And I was just going to, use this here tarot card and activate it and, try to see if I could pull the magic, the malice, the bad vibes, the whatever it is that happens to inhabit this here knife. And, when I did that, I found myself here, of all places. So I do apologize for the intrusion, but, well, perhaps, you know more than I do what I'm doing here.
You have come here again, in spite of your once inability to do so.
Yeah.
I was not lying when I told you Alm is sequestered from all other worlds. The dream world, the wild, is nothing but a mirror of Alm. Two sides of the same coin, really, the material and the dream. Both cut off. Both together. No one was ever supposed to know about the knife. But I got haughty. Because I wanted what I wanted. Such a simple weakness for a god.
Well, for certain, I personally have a weakness for sweets. I understand. I suppose, well, what were your intentions, Baba? If I may ask.
What do you think my intentions were?
Well, I don't presume to know a god's business. Absolutely not. Even though, we're family, I don't feel as if I can speak to that. Were you trying to gain power? Was that the goal?
In a manner of speaking, I suppose you could say that.
And so the knife would, you're basically gonna fillet a bird, so to speak, I guess. One of our sweet little babies.
Not as such. Trying to kill one of my own in that way would not benefit anything cosmically. But that's not what this knife really does, is it?
Well, that's that's the rub there. I don't know anything about this knife. But what does it do? What that knife do, Baba? Sorry.
It was great. You haven't figured it out yet. You disposed of my little puppet. I had that one for eons.
Well, I'm sorry. If it's any consolation, I didn't do it myself.
Well, I need a host. But that is my weakness. Each of us, my sister, my 2 brothers, we need our own entities, our own things to survive. Each of us has a weakness. Mine humbles me. I must take the lowliest of mages, and then they become my avatars. That is how I walk freely.
So, well, I understand that you probably view that as a weakness, but I do have to say I feel bad for the mages. Do they have any consent in this arrangement?
They must. That's the way it works.
Oh no! So they say yes. They contact you probably, and they
Yes.
ask for it. Oh dear.
Yes, because they want power. They know themselves better, but the cosmos has not blessed them in that way. I fulfill what they want and need,
And
just as all other hags do. All of my daughters.
is that what the knife is about then?
The knife is the conduit. My reliquary.
Okay. Well, that is good to know. So let me ask you this, Baba. We may have, just, spitballing, throwing spaghetti at the wall to see what sticks. We may have tossed this knife into a volcano. And nothing happened. Oh, well, of course you know, you're Baba. Is there a reason why nothing happened? It just got really hot, and then we had to demon wish it out. It's getting real complicated up there, or out there,
Yes.
or wherever we are in relation to our current location.
Magic flows through everything and everyone, to some degree or another. But the same magic that closes off our world from the others closes off certain individuals from their magical potential. Like you. Like the abdicated. Mortals learned how to force it, how to manipulate that barrier. That is why I can't do anything with you. I can't touch you through magic, because you can't touch it. Think about it like lightning in a metal rod. You have a rubber glove. But your friends, well, they're much more influenceable. Even if they must consent to be my avatar, that doesn't mean I can't toy with them.
Baba, that's not very nice.
Who said I was nice?
Well, no one. I will be honest there. No one has ever said that, so do not worry. We're not talking about you behind your back and saying how nice you are. That has never happened, not once, not one single time. But I would appreciate it if you would leave my friends alone. Honestly, we are dealing with quite a bit currently. I assume you've seen, you're aware. I just really, you're probably not the best person to ask how to destroy this then, if it is such an important tool for you, I guess.
Oh, child. You don't understand at all.
Probably not. I feel that way often.
The knife isn't a tool. The knife is me.
So this is we are currently, but also you are here.
Yes.
should have stayed at the orphanage. Should have continued working there.
And I would be willing to leave your friends alone if you're willing to make a deal.
A deal, you say? Well, that does not sound like a sort of arrangement that would behoove me in any capacity. How... Am I allowed to hear the deal before consenting to it? How much time do I have to decide? What kind of deal are we talking here?
If you will hand the knife to the Phoenix Queen, that is all I ask.
Can I ask why that's all you ask?
You can ask.
Baba, why do you want me to hand this knife to the Phoenix Queen?
She folds her hands together, these long spindly fingers, leans forward, and says, I'm not going to tell you.
Well, Baba, that's not very nice, and, you know, I feel like I'm perhaps being taken advantage of in this deal. I would like a little bit more information. I can't consent until I know a little bit more. I do understand that that's perhaps not the arrangement that you typically make. But also, I want to know, and also, I am not afraid of trying other means of destroying this, and even though it upsets me to destroy you as well, you know...
You really don't understand. You can't destroy it. Any more than you can destroy Crom.
So what you're saying here is, that we're all kind of just screwed currently? This is,
I am
futile?
saying each of us has our weaknesses, but all four of us share a single strength. We exist beyond the bounds of life and death and mortality. Why do you think we're called immortal? You can't kill us. I want you to hand this knife to my sister so that we may talk, and I can make a deal with her. I've already told you I don't think she's what's best for this world. But perhaps she and I can come to some sort of accord.
Well, we shall see. Before I make any decisions, I am going to be talking to my friends. Generally, they have good ideas. So I do think that they would have, you know, a clear thought on how to proceed. This is quite confusing, honestly. I just...
My dear, you've already played your hand. You've shown me your cards and you've played your ace. You pulled out that tarot card. That tarot card filled with cosmic magic. Your one defense, and you just frittered it away. So, we'll make a deal one way or another. Because, until that happens, you and I will sit right here. The rest of you watch as Nim begins glowing with this brilliant green light along with the card, and the knife also begins glowing with the same brilliant green light. And all of a sudden you hear what sounds like 10,000 shrieks all at once, carried on the whisper of an echo, as Nim collapses and the light is absolutely gone. Nim is still there holding the knife, but is unconscious.
I hate everything.
I don't know what happened, but we're gonna fix it. I touch her and see if anything happens.
Okay. Make a charisma saving throw.
Oh, okay.
DC 20.
Oh, so Nim, like touching Nim?
Mhm.
Really? All right.
This is not the same effect. This is something similar, though.
So I've got a 9.
9. So you watch as Masquerade reaches out and touches Nim and immediately collapses himself.
No, I'm fine with
Masquerade,
that. That's great.
You are now in the hut with Baba and Nim.
So, you fell unconscious, and that didn't look too healthy, and I'm guessing I'm probably in the same condition right now. What are we doing?
Well, you're here now.
I am.
So do you want to make a deal?
Ah, fuck.
And she will run the
What is it?
same
What is
spiel
it? Oh,
through
wait.
to you.
Okay. Okay.
So you're caught up.
You know, it's only a matter of time before the rest of the party's in here with us.
Oh, trust me, dear. That's exactly what I planned on.
Oh, a little
Okay, well
party,
then-
a gathering.
I guess we wait, and I sit down at the table and put my feet up, and I'm just like, look,
Nim
You
just
know-
crosses her arms.
you don't want to sit in here for ages.
You're right. I don't. And as long as it's the two of you, I can't do anything to you.
Oh god, but you could do something to the rest of them, so we should probably figure
And
something else out to offer you.
This smile just like starts cracking, and it's like unnatural, like Joker level. She's like, I'm just waiting on one of the elves or that little fawn. And that's when things are going to get very interesting.
But what you want is a body.
Yes.
How would you feel about hitting the reset button on yourself?
Go on.
I mean, either one of us could remake you. You could just grow up like a normal person.
I don't think
We're
you
both pretty good with
understand.
kids.
I don't want to be normal. I'm not like you. I'm not a mortal.
Not yet. See, what you are now is really focused on the bigger picture stuff, and I don't know that that's making you happy, is it?
She will like narrow her eyes just a little bit.
So, no, I think that's right. I think that's what we could offer you. I think we could offer you happy. Even if it's just for a little bit. Just a mortal lifespan. What do you think?
Make an insight roll. Meanwhile, Anu and Tempest and Wisp, what are you doing, having seen what just happened?
I have a question. When they get put into these trances, do our communications go out?
Yes.
Okay.
Bobby,
Yes.
where's the Phoenix?
It is sitting there watching all this unfold. It looks addled, but like it's staring to see what you're going to do. You, because of your connection with it, can feel that it is waiting on you to see what you're going to do specifically. Because you're still the chosen one, even if you don't house the Phoenix anymore.
Fuck you. I want to reach a hand out to it.
Okay.
I don't know if I can tell you what to do because I don't know. Just if you know anything, talk to me. Because I know that I don't know everything. I don't know most things. I know stories, and about 75% of them aren't true. I will take whatever you can give me. I want to help, but I don't know what to do.
And you feel this warm light pulling at your heart. Something wants you to let it in.
I will.
Okay. And so, Anu and Tempest, you watch as Wisp walks toward the Phoenix and just almost like in a trance themselves, walks inside the Phoenix and is engulfed in white fire and just is not there. And Wisp, you find yourself now inside this realm of colorful, swirling tongues of rainbow fire. It is beautiful, it is magnificent, it is intense. There are gold, silver, red, blue, green, purple, pink, orange, everything just swirling around you. Think like that scene from Avatar with the dragons, if you can. Just swirling in the distance and immediately around you. And you see the Phoenix Queen standing there, who was once Queen Chanel, now standing there before you. No longer Queen Chanel Dumont, but the Phoenix Queen. Wisp, I never knew how much you meant to me until I was made whole. I will help you in any way that I can, my special chosen one. And she takes your hands. Crom, Baba, Marisa, and myself are all beyond what you mortals understand. We are not able to be killed or brought to life or born as you think of us. We simply are. And our cosmic morality is directly affected by the ages through which we've lived. Marisa, Baba, Crom, they have known nothing but heartache and war in their ages, and it has continually twisted them into hubris, hatred, and never-ceasing hunger. But in every era where I have ruled, I have focused on and found the good, the hope, the love, the individuals that strive to make the world a better place, whether through the cosmos, through politics, or even just by being the best parent they can be. There is always good and evil in the world. None of us are altogether good or evil. And often, the evils convey a need, a lack, a void. That is what darkness truly is. A void. A shadow. And hope burns brightest in the darkness. Find the good within each and pull it out and help them find the balance that I know because of you and others like you. And she lets go of your hands and steps back, and in a flash of rainbow fire once again, you materialize, and you guys watching this tornado of rainbow fire as Wisp appears before you.
That was a trick. That was quite a trick. What did you do?
Got a little bit of guidance, and it doesn't mean that I am going to be able to do what I've just been asked to do, but the very least I can do is try, and I will touch Nim.
Okay.
Wait. So
And Nim and Masquerade, what seems to you to be an hour goes by. For Wisp, it was about a couple of minutes. For Anu and Tempest, it has been about 3 hours that Wisp is gone. And Wisp appears in the hut.
Shit.
There we go.
I'm gonna physically interpose myself between them. Hold on, we're not done talking.
Then talk.
Okay. Your family. And you know your family, that's why you're not allowed to screw with us, and you are allowed to screw with them, yeah?
Of course.
So come be a family. One mortal lifespan is nothing to you. And at the end, if you still want to, you can try again. Which won't be true if we handle you any other way. But don't you owe it to yourself to know Joy first.
Joy doesn't exist in the world. It is all pain.
I think Wisp begs to differ.
I'm sorry. Joy! Joy doesn't exist! You're immortal! You're supposed to know so much, and that's what you think!
She looks like visibly rattled and angry right now, like almost quaking angry at Wisp.
I'm sorry, I don't mean to make you feel bad, but that is the most absurd thing that I could ever imagine hearing from something who has had more time than I could ever conceive of to see so much, and you haven't seen Joy. How lonely are you?
I am lonelier than you can ever imagine.
That I do believe. Why do you choose it?
Why does anyone choose anything? We observe what is around us, and we either accept it or we reject it.
So you either lie to yourself or you are complacent. You don't try. When you say you look at the world and just accept it as it is, then you are accepting as a base concept that it can never be anything than what you see right now. Why? Why would that be? How can you have so much power and not believe that you can make it into more than it is, that you must accept it for everything wrong that you see? Why would you think that?
Because I am not an effector of change. I am a manifestation of what is.
But you don't have to be.
So at this point, between Masquerade and Wisp, both of you make an insight roll, and Nim, you can make an insight roll too, because you've kind of been sitting there listening.
Insight.
The same one you had me roll the first time, or is this a different one? Because the first one was a 14.
This is a new one.
That is a 15. That's not one of my better stats.
This is worse. It's a 10.
9.
9.
Yes.
So she's shaken for some reason, but she's also not wavering here. So do either Mask or Nim want to add anything to what Wisp said before I cut to Tempest and Anu?
I'm really curious as to what Nim has to say about this, TBH.
So Nim is just very, like, concerned, but also doesn't trust Baba as far as she can throw her.
Mm-hmm. Probably smart.
Yeah. Well, Baba, I'm struggling here to, help you. And I know that, you are you and you don't need my help, but it would just seem that you are incredibly unhappy, and we are offering you an opportunity to, maybe understand happiness, for a time, and you are, not taking it. What gives?
So I'm going to let the three of you roll a persuasion check, and it's considered assisted. But also, you're going to get a +1, whoever rolls it. So you guys choose who rolls and who gets the bonus.
I have a +9.
That's what I've got.
Who's rolling better tonight? It's not me.
I think I have been.
Yeah.
Okay, so I guess that's me then.
Uh-oh, we lost a Megan.
We did lose a Megan.
Oh, there we go.
Oh, no, I'm back. I'll be right back.
Okay.
All right. I'm gonna take a luck reroll on that.
Okay.
And we can do better. Yeah, that's definitely better. That's a 25.
25. You see that for the first time, her smile has fallen a little bit. She's not smiling right now. It's a neutral face. It's like it's trying to smile. And we're going to cut to Anu and Tempest. Unfortunately, it's at the worst time. But Anu, what are you doing?
While that's happening, I'm going to the bathroom.
Sure.
We got a be right back screen. we all take a potty break.
I mean, we can do that if you need to.
I don't have to go, but I was going to talk to Megan's character.
Okay. So, yeah, that's kind of what you got going on right now, though, is Wisp and Nim and Masquerade are all unconscious and touching one another on the ground.
When you say it like that.
Right, yo.
Not like that, but you know what I mean. They all have contact with one another on the ground. There's not a good way to word it, Vera.
I know. That's what's great.
So, yeah. And it's at the point where now, like, you remember how it was night.
Uh-huh.
The sun is starting to break on the horizon just a little bit. It's that pink, purple, orange sort of beginning just before twilight.
It's a good thing we don't sleep. Jesus.
And, Tempest is back. So, Anu and Tempest.
I don't like just waiting here.
Should we cover them with some blankets? I'm kidding. Obviously, we're gonna touch them because
No,
Wisp
we can't.
Wisp did a thing and then came back and did another thing. It has to be.
No, we can't. We can't touch them. We can't become paralyzed like they do. What happens if there's an attack from Crom right now? Who will defend them? No one. It's just us.
We definitely have a bunch of safeguards out. We need to get them back.
We don't know where they are. Or how to get them back.
Yeah, every time this has happened to us, it's been the hag.
I mean, what we could lasso. Bobby, are they all still touching each other?
Mm-hmm.
Like, is this like they have to be touching, or
Yep.
we could lasso a foot of one of them and drag them away and see if they pop back?
You go ahead and do that to Wisp, just in case it does work. I don't want
Oh
to yell
no! Oh, I don't think there's any circumstance under which Wisp would want me tying a rope on them.
Exactly.
See, you say that, but
Tempest specifically. This has been well established already.
I do have a grappling hook, so if you want to test this
You
theory...
want to pierce one of them with the grappling hook?
No, just
I
hook
think-
it.
Oh,
I think
okay.
if we're going to move any of them, it should be Masquerade.
No, because
Wisp knew what she was doing when she touched them. Wisp didn't say, touch them along with us. Wisp is there because she absolutely wants to be.
And if Wisp knew to go in there, that means whatever's going on in there, Nim is in there, and that's what Mask wants to be.
And we can ask Masquerade.
You just don't want to get Wisp mad at you.
Of all the things I could possibly want, I mean, that is up there. I've done it enough already.
That's cool. What's one more?
What's...
We need to know what Wisp
You
knew.
and I see the world very differently. I say we find a way to pull Mask out. Mask can answer our questions,
I feel
and then, if we need to do whatever's happening there, then we'll do it.
But Wisp
can't-
knows. You just said Wisps knew, and they went in there on purpose.
Wisp
So now-
didn't tell us to follow.
Well, maybe now they will once we bring them back out and ask. Or I could just go in.
So what are you doing? I love that we have the most impulsive and the least impulsive characters together right now trying to find a solution.
God, this session has just been full of great character moments, and here for it.
I know, like, I feel like I don't gotta do nothing. Y'all just got this.
I mean, how even does this work? Even if we were to tie a rope to one of them and not touch them.
Tell you what, I'm gonna tie a rope to my leg, and then I'm gonna touch Wisp, and then you pull me back, and we see if that works.
Okay.
I'm gonna tie my grappling hook in this
Okay.
way, because it has a latch release, right?
Okay.
And then this way, you don't even have to tug the rope. The machine does all of it. You just push the button,
Okay.
and I'm gonna give it to Tempest, and then I'm gonna put my hand on Wisp's shoulder.
Okay, and you are now in the hut. And Tempest, you watch as Anu just falls unconscious immediately.
Okay.
And then there was one
I
more.
am gonna start counting, and when I get to a certain number in my head, I will pick up a rock and drop the rock on the button.
Okay. So Anu's arrival actually snaps Baba into that facade once again, that smiling, and then Baba stands. So there are four of you.
Hang on, 1 second. Shh. Just wait. I want to see something.
Tempest drops the rock.
Okay. And like Anu says that, and bloop, Anu's gone. And you pull Anu away, and Anu is You're conscious again. In the material world.
Yeah, it worked!
Okay, that's fantastic. What happened while you were gone?
Yeah, they're in there with Baba, like I said they would be, because she's a menace, and she thinks she knows everything. She doesn't know everything. She doesn't know us. I am going to... How would I do this? I guess I would have to roll something to try to be clever and get the, ropes around. I have 2, right? No. Do I have 1? I could do it with my crossbows, right?
I'm gonna say that you can just get a rope around somebody without touching them if you want to. You are a rogue. You are trained in sleight of hand. This is not an issue for you.
All right.
Like
so
you are the sneaky business.
Now, what is tether? Do I know? What is Nim holding on to?
The dagger.
I've got the knife.
Okay, so I'm also going to
and the card and the tarot card.
Okay, right, tarot card. I'm gonna put ropes around everyone, and I'm gonna put ropes around everyone, and then around the dagger, and then I'm gonna put a rock on the tarot card.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna pull.
Okay.
Tempest, I need help because I only have 2 arms.
All right.
Yeah. Let's do it.
So I want you guys to roll an initiative roll. Either of you can roll it, and then I want the people inside Baba's hut to make an initiative roll. Four.
There goes that die.
I got a 16.
Okay.
15. This is like the first decent initiative roll I've had in this entire campaign.
Okay.
8.
8. Okay.
I usually
Dirty
do really
20.
well on initiative.
So everyone who's outside beat everyone who's inside. So one by one, because of Anu's very specific plan, you guys pop out. And Nim, you also pop out. And when you pop out, you are not holding the dagger or the card. They are about 10 feet away from you.
So does anyone want to explain what's going on?
I go over to the dagger immediately and grab it, and I give him a card as well.
Okay.
I will say to Anu,
That's fine.
we're trying to talk her down. Let us cook, and I will touch Nim.
Nim isn't in again. Nim just grabbed the dagger and the card, but like it had to be active.
I look at him. I'm like, do you have this? Okay, because you have this, I will stay out here and protect your body while you're in there.
I think we're okay.
Okay. Be safe. I know you've got this. If anyone can do this, it's you two.
Nim, may I put a hand on your shoulder?
Well, and Masquerade, you know that you were the start of the cracking of that into her honesty. So your words definitely held sway.
All right. Then I will remind you guys, because I don't think that Wisp was there for the beginning of that. I will let you know what I said that got her to start thawing a little bit. You know, like just lean into that.
Okay. So,
How should we set you on a timer when you go back in?
Time is weird. I don't know if it'll help.
Okay.
Should also point out that we can get you back. She can't keep you.
Good to know.
So
Nim, may I touch your shoulder? Okay.
Go for it.
Hand on Nim's shoulder. Please.
All right. Insight or Arcana, your choice, Nim.
Yes, we're doing insight. Wait, what's that? Oh, for real? A good roll? 22.
22 will work. So, in an instant, the two of you find yourselves once again in Baba's hut. She's now sitting at the table. I knew you couldn't stay away.
Did you know? Or did you hope?
You can make an insight check if you want.
Sure. That's a 5.
Yeah. She's just difficult to read right now.
I mean, it's not a good skill for me anyways.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Baba, did you think on it? Are you ready to be happy?
What could a gaggle of mortals offer me to make me happy?
I have cinnamon rolls for one. So Jim just opens the box. Like, obvious. Come on.
Baba, have you ever tried to be happy? You've been doing this for so long. I don't know if you do this out of habit. I don't know if you do this because you don't know what else to do with yourself, but legitimately, have you ever tried to think of what would actually make you happy?
What do you think would make me happy?
I have no idea. I'm not you, and I wouldn't presume. I just know what you've been doing. What you say you have been doing for longer than it makes any sense to try and guess at. And that clearly isn't making you happy. So, do I know what'll make you happy? No. No, I don't. But I know what you're doing isn't it.
So what? You want me to find reasons to smile because of little things like birds twittering in the morning and cinnamon rolls? Do you really think such petty things bring happiness?
Have you tried ever taking those things in, not snarking at them, not turning your nose up at them because you know they don't last as long as you do? Have you ever tried actually engaging with these things? Do you assume that mortals are happy simply because they're stupid?
Yes.
Fair, many of us are. But have you ever considered the possibility that maybe, just maybe, some of them know something you don't? Some of them have experienced something you haven't. I could list you everything that makes me happy. I can't guarantee any of that would make you happy. But I know what makes me happy because I've gone out and lived and tried and felt and not hid myself away going, it's all garbage. I've gone out and I've tried and I found stuff that made me angry. And I found stuff that made me hurt, stuff that made me cry, but stuff that fills my heart. Because I went and I found it. Have you ever done that?
Make a persuasion check.
Okay.
It is a really high DC, but you have entered a complex skill challenge.
Ooh. Persuasion. 21.
21. Mark a success.
And hang on, 10.
Nim, what do you have to add to this?
You know, Baba, earlier you mentioned that joy wasn't real, and then just now you said, what could mortals possibly know that you don't? And it's joy, I think, is the thing. I will say that, maybe in the grand scheme of things, those things that bring us joy aren't fancy. It's not power or eternity or inhabiting somebody else's body and doing really strange, what I would consider celestial or, war crimes on, in a weird sort of spiritual sense. We don't do that generally. But I will say that there's just something nice about waking up and having a nice breakfast with your friends and, you know, having a day off or going on an adventure or, you know, summoning your steed and just, you know, enjoying the day or, you know, I've even found a certain amount of joy by eating terrible cookies baked by a child, and it's special. And I guess what I'm trying to say is it can't really be explained, and it has to be experienced. And honestly, Baba, I pity you because you'll never know.
Make a persuasion check. And because Wisp succeeded, you have advantage.
I have a dirty 20.
Dirty 20. Mark another success.
Marked.
And she looks at you and she stands in her 7-foot-tall form over you, almost looming and imposing. And she places her gnarled talon claw right on the center of your chest and says, "What would you wager that happiness can be found in these humble little things?"
Sorry, Bobby, you said on who is being addressed?
Nim.
Okay.
Sorry. Yeah, Nim. Because she was the most recent one to speak.
That's what I figured, just checking.
Well, a wager. I don't appreciate all this language you've had tonight, Baba, around deals and wagers and things like that. But, you know, honestly, I know that that's what it is. So,
There's
I
no
don't
wager.
Exactly.
So would you be willing to bet your body?
With you not knowing all the terms and conditions of this here contract that I feel you're probably trying to get me to sign, no, but would you bet your body, Baba? Would you join us? Why don't you try proving us wrong?
A wager, then. A body for a body. A soul for a soul. If I win, you will forfeit your body to me. Relinquish control of it, and you will live your days in this life. But if you can convince me, I will do as you have suggested, and I will live one mortal lifetime, looking for happiness in humility. What do you say?
I turned to Wisp. What do I do? What do I do?
I think this is the most accepting of our position we're going to get her right now.
I think so, and I think I'm right. I think so. Right?
Yes, you are.
All right, Baba. It's a deal. And Nim holds out her hand to shake hands.
Okay. And the second you shake hands, you are thrust into your own mind, the recesses of your memory. And you relive the moments that bring you the most joy. What does she experience?
She sees Nim finding her purpose when Nim was younger, realizing that even though she didn't have a great childhood, she could help other kids find safety and comfort and community. She sees Nim helping kids learn to tie their shoes and wrapping presents for holidays and things like that. She sees Nim going to big parties and like state functions and getting enough donations to make sure that, you know, the kids can have new school books and you know, new clothes and things like toys and sports equipment and things like that. But then she also starts to see just, you know, like some memories from the past adventuring chaos. So she sees the new Break a Chandelier, and she sees Steve for the first time, and she sees some quiet conversations between Mask and Nim, and she sees and like actually has like the taste and memory of the terrible cookies that Giselle made, and just seeing how proud Giselle was of it though. She sees, you know, times that we've triumphed, or just times that we've been hanging out in the pumpkin carriage, and she sees Wisp performing, and she sees the time that we tricked what was that vampire's name?
Strahd.
Yeah, so when Masked Animal handled the mimic and all of that nonsense. So she sees these things, and amongst it all, like intermittently, there's just, you know, like cinnamon rolls and baked goods, and you know, learning new skills and just having conversations and things like that.
Okay. And Wisp.
Yes.
You feel this inquiring as it extends beyond Nim to you. What sorts of joy does Baba see?
Baba sees sitting around a fire and sharing stories and learning them, and then later passing them on to others, and seeing the light in their face when they hear a story they haven't heard before, and feeling the joy that Wisp felt as they learned that she was able to convey that without words, but with her body and with dance and with all of that they were able to convey to others without having to get bogged down in just the words that everyone else used. The memory of the time with the Phoenix, of having that and carrying that and feeling that connection grow, and feeling the bittersweetness of losing that and knowing that it only hurt because it mattered. And just the times of laughing or drinking with all the folks here, even just side-eyeing Tempest and seeing that little nervous glance that she does, and just feeling this sense of she's trying so hard. and that feels wonderful. And this building sense of a connection after a lifetime of thinking all connections would be fleeting, of being with the same people for longer and longer and longer, and feeling it deeper and more each time. And we'll throw it in there. A Night of Passion with Asana is going to be in the mix as well.
Little spiciness.
Awesome. Yeah. And then Tempest, from outside, from beyond the realm where Wisp and Nim currently are, you feel this inquiry, this vibe, like you should just, I don't know, it wants to bring forth your good memories, your joys that you found here. What does it see?
Well, to find true joy, Tempest has to start with everything that's happened here, right? And, on her first day, meeting people who just accepted her and moved on, right? Who didn't ask too many questions, like, yes, we will adventure together, and it was joyous to not be kicked out because of what you look like, or because your magic doesn't radiate the right way. And it was joyous to have companions on the road and to not be alone. Tempest was alone for so long in a dark and evil place, and this world is bright and shining and full of life. Sometimes that life kills the other of its life, and it's it's very, it's not perfect. It's not the most serene place she's ever been. But there is life here, and there's joy in the sails of the ship hanging upside down by your feet from the rigging and the masts, and feeling the cold spray of salt on her face, the way the sun rose over the water, the idea that the hope that maybe Tempest could actually have a home here, as opposed to every place else she's ever lived, every place else she's ever been. There's this idea that maybe she had some home.
Alright, I'm going to choose a bunch of different memories from past lives. First love, first child, first victory in battle. But for a new, it's going to be the first time she accomplished something stealthy. Helping out in the slums, and then meeting the party where a failed escape attempt turned into a massive, chaotic dash from a ball. I'm meeting the motley crew, going to help my people, even if it was a crazy way, getting out of a deal with the hag. Throwing snowballs at Wisp and so successfully blaming them. Feeling vindicated when Mass wound up getting into their own deal. Saving Wisp from themselves when they decided to go sacrifice themselves. And then just messing with the one guard. Well, not the guard, what was it? The town drunk, and getting an escape, even though they tried to blame me. Escaping the island, pirating a ship, and then fortifying the city from the hordes, even though it was an impossible task.
All right.
And then the final memory is me popping in and out of the hag's trance.
Love it. And last but not least, Masquerade. You feel the same kind of tugging. What do we see going through Masquerade's head to present joy and happiness and hope in this life?
Starting off low, getting a good zinger on someone at court and the look on their face when they either get it or don't. Angelique finally learning how to stand with her shoulders straight as her own person. Anu crashing a chandelier and looking a little guilty about it, but mostly grinning anyway while she's running away. Tempest perched on a roof beside Masquerade and agreeing to a race. Wisp in a moment of anger, specifically that time that Mask came back to the party after a long absence, and that confession that he didn't know how to be anything else, but that acceptance immediately after, that he could leave, come back, and just be accepted back like nothing bad had happened. Big Red becoming a friend rather than an enemy, and that night that Masquerade spent on the balcony with Nim pointing out parts of the city of Boire. A lot of Nim, actually. Every time anything happened and she was there talking everyone up, encouraging them to be their best even when we didn't deserve it. And finally, sitting in that room with Baba and talking about the things that were going on in those moments when we actually needed her guidance, because we have, whether we want to admit it or not. Mask already loves her like family.
Okay. All of you make a persuasion check with advantage. You have to succeed at 3 of these. Because Nim and Wisp already succeeded at 2, you don't have to succeed at 5. But everyone, including Wisp and Nim, make a persuasion check at advantage.
So, let's see. I think I'm going to use my channel divinity on this.
Okay.
Emissary of Peace. +5 on. Is it Chris? You said this was persuasion, or wait, what was it? Okay, yeah. Another +5 on the persuasion, just in case. Can't hurt.
I got a 28.
Okay.
28.
Okay.
I got a 19.
I got a
Okay.
19.
So, for context, the 19s don't succeed.
31.
Woo!
Okay. So, it's almost like the world itself pauses for a full heartbeat. And with the tail end of it, Nim and Wisp, you awaken. And it's almost like in the blink of an eye this happens, a new Masquerade and Tempest. You see that where that knife once was, there is now a baby.
Woo!
Like an actual, like, little baby girl, just stark naked there, like, in the stones and rubble, shivering
her in my
from
cloak.
the cold.
No, cloak.
Okay, and
She
you
can
wrap
have
them.
it.
You wrap her in a cloak, and she immediately starts cooing and smiling.
A baby human?
A baby human,
gross.
or rather, then all of a sudden the face changes just a little bit, and the yellow eyes turn brown, and you realize it's a changeling baby, actually.
Mask looks over to Nim. What do you think about Joy?
As a name,
Mm-hmm.
I think it's perfect.
So, all of you together now, I know we're a little late, but that was your conflict to overcome Baba. And you guys did overcome Hubris with humility. And thus, you helped her to find the joy in the humble things. And all of you level to 20 as you prepare to now face your biggest task, which is the City of Worms.
Oh, that's right. That's still there, isn't it?
Yep. Well, you have one more cosmic evil to go.
Well, we have to survive it now, don't we?
Yep.
I thought we were gonna do like a whole 5 adventurers and a baby sort of like sitcom situation now. Man.
So that is where we're going to leave it for tonight. So thank you everybody for watching. Thank you for joining us for this awesome and emotional ride. These guys are awesome, aren't they? Like, not the characters, but the players. They are also awesome. So thank you guys for joining us on this journey, and we'll be back in 2 weeks. So until then, make sure to tell your story your way. Bye.